a little bit of drawing, okay? And then the next time we'll do some more drawing, okay? So get your pads and your paper. And we'll just do a few minutes of this. Okay, how's that? Is that in there? Okay. What I'm going to say is you don't need to learn every story in your book. You're not going to probably be telling a story to one group more than once. So even if you get good with one story, that's okay. You go, girl. I love doing story with her. You don't need to learn them all, okay? I have never had anyone even do as much as Enoch has done this time in giving us which stories to do. In the past, I've said to him, do you think I should do New Testament or Old Testament? You know, and I've gotten at least to narrow that down. But I don't know that he's going to tell you which of these stories. He's never done that before in each setting, okay? So if somebody says to you, you're going out to this village today, you're going to the refugee camp today, be ready with a story. It doesn't matter if there are 5 or 6 groups out there telling stories, if every one of them is telling the same story, it doesn't matter. It does not matter. In fact, it's almost neat. If that were to happen, that would be pretty miraculous, wouldn't it? And I would say God really wanted that story to be told. And you know what? They're going to compare, they're going to talk about it afterwards, and you know, they will have heard the same thing. So that's okay too, all right? So get a couple stories that you're really comfortable with drawing and telling. Don't count on it. You know, you may be husband and wife, pairs, but practice together. You may not ever get to do a story together in Uganda, but maybe you will. You know, you never know. You just never know how you're going to be paired up. But team leads, whoever becomes the point person for storying, needs to, you know, kind of be cognizant of, make sure you don't have 2 people who only want to draw, or 2 people who only are comfortable with telling. I mean, maybe you're more comfortable with telling the story, or maybe you're only comfortable with drawing the story. I've seen people who, one or the other, they just say, oh, I couldn't tell the story. I just could not do that. Or I can't draw. I'm terrible at drawing. And they're not really. But okay, but practice, okay? So it's going to be practicing. Get a couple of stories, work on them, and you know what will happen? If you get a couple under your belt that you really feel comfortable with, you'll find out the rest are easy. There might be a single picture in there that's got something that's a little bit tricky to draw, and you may need to practice on that one a little bit. One trick we've done is tracing the pictures lightly with a pencil. And up here you can't even see that, and then when you go to draw it in the bold colors that you have, it works out pretty well like that. So, you know, if you know ahead of time, if you got your big pad ahead of time, you want to trace them out in pencil lightly so that your artist can just draw them over that works too. Okay? So, first thing you will see in every one of those drawings is that God never has a body, okay? He is always just a circle. And if you remember, and you may not always remember, but in Uganda, God is Ruanga. Ruanga? Is that Ruanga? Just put an R there so they understand that this is God, okay? So, I don't know that I always remember to do that, but it's good to do that. Okay, so God is always a circle. We can all draw a circle, right? Everybody draw a circle. And then there are different times when God has different expressions on his face, though. Sometimes he is sad. So I can just, can you see that? Is that a dark enough pen? Can you see that?
No, there's no markers right out here. Let's see.
Okay, let's try this one. Maybe he's sad. Oh, there you go. Okay. He could be sad. He may have a teardrop. I think in the story of Noah and the Ark, where he regretted that he had made man, they put teardrops beside on his face. So there's a sad person. Now I'm drawing these on God, but this can be a person too, you know, these facial expressions. So there's a sad God, okay? That's, what's that expression?
Angry.
Angry. There's an angry God. Do you think when Moses came down from the Mount Sinai and the golden calf was down there that he might have had this face on him? You know, just remember that the downward, that's an angry face, okay? I've drawn like this. This is kind of a, what would that be? Perplexed? Or questioning or sad maybe? This one's kind of sad. But this one's like, what's going on here? You know? I've also, sometimes, I've just got eyes, and what's he doing there? He's speaking. So when God comes to the garden and says, Adam, where are you? You know, just draw a little oval. And it's better to put it off to the side to me, because then it looks like he's looking down. You know, I always just draw his mouth over to the side because it looks like he's looking down at you. So, okay, so there are faces, okay? And God has no body. Any questions about that?
Is he ever happy?
What? Oh, is he ever happy? We can do that. A happy face. Thank you, Jean. Okay. Let's see. Is anybody doing what are the stories? Anybody have angels in your stories? Have you looked through them? You know? I'm sorry, I haven't looked at what your stories are, your specific ones. But let's do an angel. The angels are always, they've got a triangle for a body. Okay? They can have all those same facial expressions. And then here's how I do their wings, okay? Just straight across and then just scallop it like that. Okay, that's an angel. Put hands on them. You know who this is? Who do you think that is? Somebody who hasn't seen the stories. It's an angel. Yes? Which one? Lucifer. It's Lucifer. Who does God think he is, right? He got kicked out, okay? Okay, so the angels have always got wings, and they've always got a little triangle for the body. Now, when they got kicked out, I kind of do this. Here they go. They don't have any wings, and they may be angry, or they may be sad, like what in the world's going on here? You know, you don't have to take a lot of time on that. Just, you know, you're not going to have a lot of time. I'm really bad about always wanting to put hands and feet on them. I always want hands and feet on my stick figures, but there he goes falling out of heaven. Okay, so angels, any questions about the angels? Just remember, these angels don't have wings. They were cast out of heaven, so that's why that angel doesn't have wings, by the way. When the angels came and said, announcing Jesus' birth, you know, you may have a couple up in the air like this. They would have their wings. They would have their wings. And they're speaking, so you'd have your mouth open. Okay?
Now what's that one?
That's an angel in the air proclaiming Jesus' birth, or it may be saying he's not here, he's alive, you know. So that's just an angel speaking. Okay? Okay.
What about some cattle and sheep?
I think we'll get to cattle and sheep next time because I think I'm about out of time. Is it about a quarter till? Yeah. Okay, so between now and next Wednesday, you can take some of this scrap paper home with you if you need it. If you have scrap paper at home, we'll use this here. But just start practicing. Look through your books and see if there's anything there that you really can't figure out how in the world I drew that. Okay, and we'll address those specifically. The animals, some of the animals are a little bit tricky, but they don't have to look exactly like I drew them. That's not the best pictures necessarily. Yes.
I'm trying to figure the purpose of the story. Is there a time at the end of the story that you open up for salvation? I don't know.
You will absolutely let God lead you in that, but at the end of the story, after you've shared the story multiple times, you absolutely can take the opportunity to say, you know, Adam was cast out of the garden, but God provided a way for him to come back to him. He broke his fellowship with God. But, you know, every one of these stories is pointing to Jesus. So at the end of the story, absolutely, and thank you for bringing that up, because I should have said that. I should have finished that up with that. Definitely.